Alright guys, we're going to trial the simple device I put on my engine here. As you can see, a little heavy stainless steel component there that allows me to tilt the engine at will. And what I did is I put in a simple bungee back there, so if you get obviously in a pickle where you're going to hit the bottom, this will pull it up and then basically push it right back down. It's just simply a ball bungee. I have mine to where if it goes too high, it can just kind of pull back down. And you'll see over here I ran another line with a handle to be able to pull the engine out of the water at will. So the whole trim and tilt thing is pretty much a bust in the sense of adding complication to it with a 12-volt system. It's just too much. I have one, but just another failure point. So basically we have a pull start on one side, kind of like a lever per se on a fulcrum back here that allows it to swivel at the same time, being that it's round. And of course, like a knucklehead, I put that on backwards today so it doesn't roll across the stainless wire the way I want it, but it doesn't matter, it'll still work for today's purposes. But yeah, I got it on backwards. Lovely. All right, so you guys can kind of see back there the round hoop. Whoop, let me just get you there. So you can see the round hoop, and that round hoop allows that motor to be pulled out of the water. I will tell you, I need to tighten up the main bolt. It's a little too floppy in there. The main bolt basically is your bracket bolt. I got to tighten that up so it's snug versus loose. But it allows me to be able to pull using this with no issue. I mean, literally it's like a fulcrum. And what's nice about it being round in the front on a pulley is that it allows that motor to be locked on either side or turn and still pull. So if you happen to run across a shoal or something like that, you know, then you can easily pivot that motor up under power. The bungee in the bottom, I think I need to tighten up a little bit. Still seems a little loose because the motor does not respond back into the water the way I want it. Part of that's because the main bracket bolt seems a little loose. As you guys can see, the hoop's there. It's a larger hoop because I wanted the pulley to be able to go into the groove, or the wire I should say, to go into the pulley groove so it can kind of easily spin. It's all stainless, so there's no issue with corrosion. So you can easily just get that motor up and just lock it in place here. You do have to cut that appropriately, and as far as the length is concerned. This just happened to be on the boat already, and this snaps right in. Of course, as you can see, I don't have a thumb to work with right now, but this snaps in, keeps that motor pivoting, and you can hear it's a little bit louder right now. You know, being that it's air cooled and no impeller, no issue. But this works like a champ. Super simple to make. You don't have to recreate the wheel. I can always build you guys one, it's no problem, but it works because I'm already running and pulling on it. I can feel that the bow kind of just kind of laying back in the water. Is nice if you happen to run across real shallow water and you need to get that skeg off the bottom. But again, like I said, which took me an hour, sorry about that guys, but again, it lays right in, snaps in. But you can do it different ways. You can do it simply with a pull cord, you know, and just have it attach here. Just put another grommet in, or an eyelet, so it only can go so far forward, and just lock it in place, which is kind of cool. But yeah, so that's it. Now granted, that's not all the way up. It can go all the way up a little bit more. I would say probably another 2 or 3 inches pull, which will get that skeg in line with the lower plane of the kayak. But I'm gonna dunk it back in. It's been a while since it's been out. My hand decided it wanted to have a little problem. Get this thing going, man. I need some numbers, man. It's been a while. The pursuit's been collecting dust. But I'll get you guys better imagery once I'm back at the house, and I'll hook it up the right way and just kind of give you how this thing actually functions. I just want to see if it worked on the water live, and it does. But like I said, bracket bolt needs to be tighter, and that's pretty much it. Bungee needs to be tighter as well. Yeah, the bungee seems to be a little loose. Once it gets wet, they tend to stretch a little bit. But all for now, let's get some numbers. That's like right around maybe 2 clicks. 4, hitting 4. We got an incoming tide, ever so slight. Kind of a cross chop actually. Kind of a dingy day today. Sorry if the camera's crooked, man, it's my bad hand. Wide open. I don't run it wide open. I'm right. This is my fun spot here. Just cruise. It's a 4-stroke. To me, it makes more sense. Save the gas. I don't need to get there any faster. Right now, we're at 4.58. Nice cruise speed. No issue, man. You're not deafening yourself. Trust me. It may sound like that on the camera, but it is not like that. All right, I'm gonna turn this baby into the current. Let's see what we got. Nothing but a Honda power head and its simple drive system. So we're going into it now. A little choppier. It's amazing how the new canoe likes the waves. It's super smooth. Right now we're at 4.47. I mean, that is a humble sound of the motor. You know, it's choppy. No white caps, but it's choppy. Not gonna lie to you. So I'm gonna just slowly crank it up here. All right, we're 4.52. Again, no issues with sound. I don't care what you guys say. You can have your 2.3 Hondas that weigh 30 pounds. This is feather light, man, and it's simplicity. And you can keep adding to it, which is so nice. It's running True Fuel, which again, I don't sell it, but I know it works well. It really works well. I don't get any money for that. No sponsorship. I wish I did. It'd be cool to throw some True Fuel labels on the boat, but nonetheless, it has never skipped a beat with that gasoline. Let's go, girl. Numbers don't lie, y'all. And I'm not skinny. So this thing's doing what it's got to do. And mind you, I don't run wide open. I really just do it for you guys. So I can get real numbers, not just make-believe numbers. Because I will tell you if it does not work. Just like when I screwed up putting on my pulley system this morning. That's always fun. Well, it doesn't matter, it worked great. But I know where I made the mistake. So right now, 5.6 was our max. Right now we're at 5.49. Pleasant cruise speed all day long. All right, guys, I got the boat cleaned up and kind of want to show this to you when we're out of the water. It's just a lot easier to kind of navigate around the boat. So what I created here was a simple pulley system that connects into the lower bolts on the clutch housing. So it does pivot on a pulley, a stainless pulley. So what this allows the engine to technically turn and be able to be lifted at the same time. Now down here is just a simple bungee cord. It's a ball bungee cord, that's it. So what I did is I wrapped it around the lower bracket, tie wrapped it here. Now what this allows the engine to do is to not exceed, it won't flip over, in other words. It won't wrap around itself, because what was happening, some people not paying attention will pull that motor real hard, and the next thing you know, this thing's flipped over. That's not a good thing. So that bungee can be shortened. Of course I didn't, but the reason why I left it at that length is because that skeg basically is just coming right above that lower plane of the hull. That's what you want. And you can go higher, obviously, but there's no point. So here, in essence, you have here the ability to not only turn, you can rotate the engine. Now, assumingly you're going to straighten it out, but let's just say you happen to be tilted, you're still going to have a clean grip on that motor when it comes to tilting it. Now, the line will run forward of you, of course, down the opposite side. Now, what I did on mine is I put mine through the, the factory components, which I like to do. I don't like to add more problems to it. All right, and then here, all you have to do is simply pull. So it doesn't take a lot to move this up because it acts like a fulcrum. As you guys can see, it's in my bad hand, but there it is. And this typically wraps here. Now, it's kind of, I just made the line long enough to be able to fit in that. It's just, you can wrap it anywhere you want. You can create a whole different mechanism if you want to, but I mean, that's it. The motor's going to be out of the water. And if you want to pull it farther, you can go up, obviously up here. It doesn't take a whole lot to get this thing out of the water. So again, you're close. Haven't measured it. I'm sure if I go up one more click on that, that prop will pretty much be out of the water. All right, and then of course there's the bungee, which really, it's simplistic. I mean, the trim and tilt was great. Don't get me wrong, it was kind of a bling item, but getting parts and making things more complex was just not the way it works. So, these simple links. This is the starter here. Simply lays right next to everything else. I'll take you a little tour here. So what I have on mine is my kill switch permanently mounted in the boat. Let's move that out of the way. Kill switch is permanently mounted in the boat with a little bit of extra. This is a version 2 kill switch, which can be mounted in a box. You'll see how I run the wire in here. Never gets wet. And that goes around my wrist. And that pretty much sums that up, And of course over here is the pull start. So the pull start I just simply lay in there when I'm not using it. And that's it. Now the nice part about this, if you happen to not clip it in the side and the motor yanks too far up, which I'll show you guys, just use the tiller to push it down. I will tell you my mistake this morning when I took it out was, you'll notice that motor's not going down. Well, the reason being is that this bolt right here was too loose. You want this to be just literally being able to catch itself as it goes down. Not too tight, not too loose. So I had it so loose that the actual motor was flipping up way too fast. So if you happen to get that motor to where it's cocked up like that, remember that bungee is going to hold it so it doesn't go too far, but let's just say it sticks right there. You simply have to push it back with the tiller. I mean, it's easy peasy. It's a fulcrum. But yeah, that's it, man. I mean, you'll see I have my kill switch permanently mounted. There's no point in taking it out. There it is. I just simply unclip that. And that's it. I mean, really. Motor runs like a scolded ape today, as usual. So I have all my controls here. Kill switch, tiller. I thought about making the tiller a little bit longer here because it's not, it's fine for where it's at, but I'm thinking about it. That's it. Again, either a D-link or some other form to attach on the factory pull cord. That's all you need, guys. Nothing difficult. And you can see I run everything through stainless pieces. Yeah, and it comes out in seconds. So if I want to strip the boat, I can. But that's pretty much it. You can pull it on any angle, which I like. That's all you guys need. I know we've had a lot of questions about the trim and tilt, which, like I said, is fun, but not really necessary. That's it. There you go, guys.